I'm 24 years old. I have the Australian title around my waist. I just headlined my own first main event pay-per-view. People dream about that.
Just my experience that I take into the ring, he hasn't got that yet. You know, he's still developing, he's quite green, and that's going to show August 14.
He's rated #1 in Australia. That's my position. To be the face of boxing, I've got to be rated as the #1 in Australia. So that's all he's got, nothing personal, and I intend to take that #1 spot.
It's going to put the winner into a spot where you can make a tilt for the world title, challenge for a world title, and that's what it's all about. This is about world titles, and that's all anyone wants. So he's looking past me, but I'm not looking past him, because I'm going to get past him and I'm going to take that world title.
August 14th is the first step, but I've got a long career ahead of me. I am the face of Australian boxing. We're here to stay, we're here to pack out arenas, we're here to bring boxing back to where it should be.
It's all I've ever worked for. To think someone could come from this little sort of nowhere town and go all the way to the big time, and to bring a world title belt back here, it'd be the greatest moment of my life.
This is great for me, to be getting opportunities like this. Before, no one would fight me. Now, when the attention is finally on me, everyone sort of wants a piece. So great, this is my time. Step by step, I'm going to take them all out one by one.
Good right hand from Tszyu, got through.
First fight was a great success. Now it's just climbing up the mountain to get all the way to the top. I've been on TV before, but it was the first time that all the attention was on me, and all the attention was for me to perform, and you know, I rose to the occasion through all my hard work that I did before my fight. Had a little bruise, and that was just a trophy for myself. You know, Joel's a tough bugger. He moved around, he got a good game plan, but you know, I executed and I did everything right at the end of the day, and I'm the Australian champ.
I thought he boxed him all right. I copped a bit of flack, social media and stuff, but the thing about Joel, he's a great survivor, and he'll make the best fighter look, you know, B grade on his given day. So I don't take too much out of that fight. I think he's a lot better fighter than what he's shown there, but in saying that, he's not on my level.
Yeah, Dad was happy. Dad's always happy as long as I got the victory, and as long as I'm healthy, that's the main thing for him. We never really spoke too much about the fight. He said, good job. I made a good, smart fight. You know, the guy was awkward. He came with weird punches. I was able to make my own game plan. From this fight, there's been a lot more people recognizing me now. Walking out on the streets, people asking for photos, you know. I knew that it was gonna come. I've dedicated my life to this sport, and it's finally paying off. I intend to stay the face of Australian boxing for a long time. Yeah, and I'm just enjoying the moment and living a great life. I was actually moving into my new home, and I got a call from my manager saying, in 2 days, do you want to go and spar Manny Pacquiao? And I was like, of course. An opportunity like that, it never comes. So it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you know, to go out there and to live the life where the way Manny Pacquiao trains and fights, it was a real eye-opener. I was able to make great friends. I was able to give Pac-Man a run for his money. He comes out fast. Don't want to say too much about the sparring, but yeah, we both gave each other a few hits, that's for sure. There's a long road ahead to become like a Manny Pacquiao, but that's the goal. Team Pacquiao said that they're going to be here when the Jeff Horn fight happens, and they're going to be cheering me on, that's for sure. Well, the plan sits at now that I'm fighting Dwight Ritchie. The winner will fight either Horn or Zerafa. I don't see the point of fighting the loser. That's just 5 steps backwards. I'm not going down the mountain, I'm going up. Well, hopefully Jeff wins, and hopefully he does it good. He's a good boxer. I think Michael's living in his own fantasy world, and Jeff will expose him.
Yeah, I'd love to fight Jeff Horn. It'd be a really great opportunity to climb higher in the world ratings. You know, Jeff's another top-rated Australian, another great fighter, so I'd jump at an opportunity to fight him.
Let's get Jeff Horner a nice VIP ticket, sitting in the front row. That way he can relax and, think about the game plan that he can make against me in the future.
People refer to me a little bit old school. I like to bounce around, move, I like a bit of dancing. I like to be aggressive with a bit of counter punching. If they tune in on August 14, they're going to see a really good fight, an action-packed fight. No doubt Tszyu's going to try and come knock me out, so I'm going to let him try.
I've seen a few fights of him. He's impressive. Doesn't have much power. He throws a lot of punches. I'm just going to come in there and enjoy myself more than the Kamilu fight.
It just didn't get any better for me than Lionel Rose. He's just such a great fighter that I feel he's the best. I could watch him for days. Yeah, I like to try and dance like Lionel a little bit, but no one can do it like the master. Such a pretty fighter to watch. Such great reflexes, speed and snap that I feel a lot of Indigenous fighters have. To try and emulate that, it just goes to show what a great fighter he is and what he means to so many people. Me and my family were right into horses, and I used to ride horses around here on the street and stuff. And when I went down to Melbourne, and I always had a cowboy hat on, and everyone just started calling me the cowboy. My first trainer, I think Gary Scott, he gave me the nickname the Fighting Cowboy, but it just sort of dropped low, and everyone just started calling me the cowboy. Grew up in the South End Commission, sort of had to fight your way for a few things here and there, but good people here. We've got Corey's from here playing in the AFL, and now I'm trying to step up and fight on a much bigger stage, and God willing take it to the world level. I've seen it all around me. A lot of my friends and family were all affected by drugs and alcohol. Drugs being just the worst. It really put the wind up me. I just didn't want to be like that. I thought that there was something else for me. I was lucky enough to find people that put me on that path, but I could have just as easily gone the other way. And there were some times where I did cross that line, but it made me who I am today, and I'm glad where I am, and hopefully taking this to the next level can show some other fellas around here that there is something outside of this place. So many gifted footy players, gifted fighters. You see blokes come in the gym, they put together an 8-punch combination in a flash of an eye. It just looks beautiful. And then the next week, you're seeing them just parked out the back of the, down the back alley, and it's just not. There's plenty of easy options, but in saying that, there's plenty of places where you can go and make something of yourself here too. I come from a family of fighters. All my uncles fight, my grandparents fought. My old man, he turned pro at 17 as well. To hear blokes talk about him around here, he was the great could-have, the great what-if, very pretty fighter, in that classic fashion of Lionel Rose and that Ambrose Palmer style, Ray Styles. He sparred a lot with Barry and Lester, and they've got big raps on him. And he's just a great what-if, but just didn't get the right cards, And sometimes life just deals you that way. His downfall was always women, women and grog, and unfortunately he took that path. Sometimes he wouldn't get the fights that he wanted. You have to wait, months and months, and blokes would pull out, and you get frustrated with the game, and then, in the end, you just give up. It beats you down, it demoralises you, and you just feel like, what am I doing this for? Everyone knows that Costa, he was the man at junior welter. There's few that compare, It's a great fighter. I love watching him. I think just about everyone in Australia loves watching him. I haven't got anything bad to say about him. Obviously, they're very similar, Costa and Tim. Tim tries a lot to emulate his father's style, but unfortunately, he's like the home brand version of Costa. Like, he's the cheap version. There'll never be another Costa, and he should stick to finding his own style.
He's going to move around, I'm going to walk through him, and I intend to hurt him. If it's not a stoppage, I intend to hurt him for the whole 10, 12 rounds.
I don't think that he has the power of Costa. I don't think he's got the speed of Costa, and I don't think he's got the smarts of Costa. I think he just comes forward, he tries to knock you out. That's all right. You can try and knock me out all night, but we're going to be there for a long time.
He's busy, doesn't have power, he's busy, he's a mover. I intend to walk him down, hurt him. In professional boxing, power is very important, to be able to hurt your opponent, not to just tip-tap and give your opponent a facial massage. This sport is the hurt business. Time to punch this guy's head in. I'm not gonna say that. That's what I'll be thinking.
To say that he's overrated, I think that's a bit harsh. I think that there's a lot there to work with, and he's got people behind him that want to see him succeed, but he's just not ready yet. I think maybe a few more fights, a few more times going the distance would have served him a lot better than jumping into this fight with me. I think he knows that. He's never going to admit it, but he knows. Every fighter knows. Yeah, you know when your number's up, you know when you're out of your depth.
You know, after my fight, I knew what is ahead of me, and I remained focused. That's all that matters to me. I really don't care about other people's opinions. I'm 24 years old, and I'm going to take out my opponents one step at a time, and I'm just looking forward to a long career.
Tim can be a professional athlete 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've got responsibilities that I have to look after and take care, you know, my kids, my family. But in saying that, that gives me more to fight for, you know. At the end of the day, this doesn't work out for Tim. It doesn't mean that much to Tim. Tim just go and do something else. This is everything to me, everything to my family, this is everything I fight for. So even though he's training twice a day, he can train 3 times a day, 4 times a day. I train once a day and I make it count. That's all that matters. I'm in here, all I'm thinking about is my family, my kids. Everything that I'm fighting for is so much bigger than myself. Whereas Tim, he's just fighting for himself, him and his silver spoon. There's more to life than just yourself, you know. You come here, you be a part of the community. You see Shepherd get around me, you see, you know, all my family, all my mob, they all get around me.
This is everything, this is my life, this is what I was born for. Everything I've done in my career all comes down to this.
August 14, Tim's going to try and come out, he's going to try measure me, he's going to try and knock me out. I'm obviously going to move on him. I don't think he deals too well with movement, and I think I'll wear him down in the later rounds and could stop him.
August 14th, you watch. That's all I have to say.